I remember a time when I used to dream about having abundance, having happiness in unlimited amounts, and having peace and joy. And this was in my early 20s, and I thought you had to buy these things. Um, but now in my early 40s, um, I find I find happiness in the simplest things. And one of the reasons that I think I've come to this conclusion is because of gratitude and what I'm grateful for. So I normally do my gratitude walk, pacing back and forth through my garden. But today I thought, why not share? So here we go. Life will give you a lot of challenges and things to, grapple with. Life is difficult, especially if you're a modern day human being. If you're a member of any minority community, you're going through a lot of challenges, especially right now, as we're potentially could be facing a global catastrophe in terms of wars. But I think focusing on what you're grateful for. So I'm grateful for having my own grapevines that are going to give me seeded grapes in a few weeks. And it's growing in more abundance than last year. I have so many clusters, so I'm very grateful for that. Gratitude is something that it really gets you to think and reflect about the things that you do have. I'm sure many of you know that. And it's so easy to focus on the things that you don't have, that sometimes what you do have, peace of mind, at ease with nature, bonding with nature, and you realize nature is one of those forces that gives you an abundance. I'm looking at this mint grow overgrowing, and just the more I cut from it, the more it gives. And I've started to give some of these away because there'll be plenty for me and my family in the fall. So I often come out here and stand right in the middle and just think about what I'm grateful for. I have 2 kids that have challenges, but I know that we're going to heal them. We're going to get them to function as they were meant to be. My oldest son is on the autism spectrum. I'm sure I've mentioned that. And he loves it out here. This gives him, it just calms him down. He also has ADHD, but that has subsided since we've been on a plant-based diet. Nature forces you to kind of do the work. If you don't water your garden, if you don't take care of your plants, they will grow, but they won't do as much. They won't grow as much. They won't give you as much. And so you have to look at your part in it. I remember when this rosemary's bush was just a little tiny bush. If I could find a clip of it, it was just a tiny bush. Now it's such a big bush expanding. I imagine it one day taking over that entire bed because I cover it, I care for it. Sometimes you just have to imagine the kind of life that you want to live and go for it, right? I imagined all of this a few years ago, that I wanted to live away from the city, that I wanted to have peace, even though we have the highway behind us, but it's a different type of peace. When I walk through my garden, I feel like I'm participating in, it is partaking in ancient practices. I'm feeding my family. I more than save my grocery bills, but I'm really teaching my kids some resiliency skills, some responsibility skills without even calling it that. I tell them, if I don't water my plants, if I don't take care of them, if I don't plant them in time, then I'm not going to get the reward, which is a big harvest. It's also connecting in a way with nature where you know what things are, you know what heals your body. You're grateful for nature's beauty and what it has given you. I'm always so amazed by everything that grows for us. Like this right here, this is a dandelion plant that I decided to put it there. And then my landscaper accidentally forgot that I usually have markers, and he mowed it. And I was so upset about that. So I put this fence as a reminder just for the landscaper. And it turns out that that's exactly what that plant needed, because it is growing so tall. I mean, it used to be mostly to the ground, but this thing has stem that are gonna outgrow this little contraption that I have. So I didn't realize it needed trellising, but now I know, and I'm grateful for it. And it's been giving us so much. It's actually growing out of that structure. Nature is amazing. Nature is, it just makes you take the time to really reflect on what's important. It also teaches you patience. Every plant, every species, I think, teaches me something. Even those birds that are, if you care for them, they'll care for you back in their own way, which you may not get, but I feel that they do care for me, because sometimes I'll leave the water out if it's like 100 degrees, and they'll take water baths, and they know that I meant for them. I'll put it somewhere right here, and it's meant for them, and they know that. So they won't bother my blueberries as much. But speaking of which, this is a blueberry, and this is a blackberry bush, and they are going to take a while to come up, and that has taught me patience, and that plants are resilient. Strawberry tower. I have strawberries here. I also have strawberries on my deck patio because I'm trying to share with the birds. So the ones that are in the main garden, I'm not gonna get all of them, and that's okay. But I'll get more of the ones that are near me, closer to me. So I do these nature walks in my backyard. I'm fortunate and grateful for having such a backyard with a pool and with a play area for my family, for my two sons, because I didn't grow up with this. I grew up in an apartment complex in Brooklyn, and concrete was my backyard. I would have loved to have this as a kid in the 90s. This would have been amazing. This would have been paradise. But I dreamt of it my entire young adult life. I knew that I wanted something like that, and not in my own exact time frame, but it came to fruition. I have an apple tree that gives me apples every year, and each apple tastes sweeter. Each year I get to know this tree, and this year I plan to cover most of the apples so they can grow a little bit bigger, a little bit sweeter. And I'm learning so much about nature. Yes, take advice from other people. Absolutely get feedback. But it makes sense. If it makes sense, then apply it. If it doesn't, then just consider it their opinions. So when most of my friends who are still in the city, they don't get it. And I don't force them to, because our journeys are different. I respect their choices to continue to live there, but mine is a little bit different because I wanted peace. I wanted to be able to reflect. And honestly, if I don't want to get on a plane and go somewhere, can really deck out my pool area and pretend like I'm on vacation. So I'm grateful for so much in my life. And sometimes I come out here and have these thoughts that I'm expressing just to myself. But I thought I want to share, and maybe that might inspire someone. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was inspirational. That was the intention. Consider subscribing if you like this, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Take good care.